Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that when it contracts, you're not squeezing blood back into the atrium. It just goes in one direction, which you want it to be, right?
Okay.
And that direction is from the right ventricle, goes out through the pulmonary trunk, this bad boy right here.
Bad boy?
Yeah.
That's a very bad boy.
It crosses, it has to pass through another valve. So this is the second valve, okay? This valve, which is through the pulmonary trunk, it's called the pulmonary semilunar valve.
Lunar valve.
Yes, okay? Everybody got that?
Yep.
Pulmonary semilunar valve. Passes through that valve, goes out through the pulmonary trunk. Pulmonary trunk branches out into a left and right pulmonary artery. Keep in mind that this is an artery, but this time it's carrying deoxygenated blood. This is where the exception to that rule is. Only in the pulmonary system. Only in the pulmonary system, okay? Keep that in mind. So, goes out to the lungs from the pulmonary arteries where it gets oxygenated. Where blood gets returned, it gets returned specifically into the left atrium. Not the right, but the left, okay? Through the pulmonary veins. There's a left and a right side. Left, right. Okay?
Can you say it again?
And here,
I didn't get it.
it's still within the pulmonary system, so the exception still applies. Here, the pulmonary veins are carrying oxygenated blood when they're supposed to be carrying deoxygenated. So that's the exception in the pulmonary system. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Good? Okay, so now we're in the left atrium. Okay? And now the blood is oxygenated. Okay? It flows into the left ventricle from that point. And the left ventricle, again, you would suspect there's another valve separating the two chambers. That valve is called the bicuspid valve. Here you can see remnants of it, still kind of torn, but you can see the remnants of it. But that's the bicuspid valve. Okay? So that's the third valve. There's a fourth one.
Wait, the third one is what?
The bicuspid.
Where is it? Where is that?
In between the left and right, left atrium and left ventricle. It separates the chambers. Okay, and again, you still have the papillary muscles, you still have the chordae tendineae, you still have the prevention of the backflow kind of thing going on, right? So here the ventricles contract on the left ventricle, goes out to the aorta, which is this structure, which I'll show you in a second, but it has to pass through the aortic semilunar valve. So that's the fourth valve, okay? Everybody got that? Okay. The aorta is split up into different parts. An ascending part is just the part going up. The arch, because it looks like an arc, right? And if you go further down, the descending aorta, okay? And the descending aorta branches down to like a whole bunch of different other vessels that supply the lower portions of your body, okay? It also branches from the top of the arc of the aorta. This first branch, or this first, this first branch from the aorta is the brachiocephalic branch, okay? It actually branches out into a right common carotid artery and a right subclavian artery, okay? So where's the here? It's better to look at it from behind so that you know exactly what the brachiocephalic trunk is, or the branch. It's this one, okay? The reason for that is these two guys are equivalent to this, but on the left side, but they have their own branches. You see that? So they just call it that vessel. Here, it's a single vessel, and then it branches out into those two things. So the brachiocephalic trunk refers to that single vessel before it branches out into the right common carotid, right subclavian, and this is just the left common carotid artery, and this is just the left subclavian artery. Okay? Good so far? And that serves the upper portions of your body with blood. Okay? From there, we have to talk about the blood supply of the heart. And the blood supply of the heart is starting here on the right side, since we started on the right side. You see branching out of the aorta, you can see the right coronary artery. Okay?
No memory. Crap. Wait, what is that?
Right coronary artery. The blood vessel right here.
Okay. The blood vessel.
Okay, right coronary artery. It also branches out into the right marginal artery. Right marginal. Okay? From there, you have the left coronary artery.
Can see it. Okay.
And this branches out like crazy too. Branches out to this one, and this one is the anterior interventricular, because it's between the ventricles, artery. Interventricular. It just means in between the ventricles, kind of thing. Okay, and it also branches off into the circumflex.
Oh no, I can't see it.
Right here, that's the circumflex. Okay, but the circumflex branches out into a left marginal artery, which is that guy.
Okay.
The red one. The red one. You're pointing on the red one, right?
Yes, the red one. Finally, to cap out the arteries, and then we can go to the veins.
What?
On the bottom side, you got the posterior interventricular artery.
Posterior.
No,
The
the
red
red one.
one.
Arteries, remember, carry oxygenated blood. Except one exception. Yeah. Okay?
So it was posterior, superior,
Posterior interventricular artery.
interventricular artery.
Okay? So continuing from the back, you got the coronary sinus.
The
Big structure right here.
the blue one.
Yeah.
You're talking about blue one.
Branches out into the great cardiac vein. Okay? Great cardiac vein.
And that will be on the left ventricle.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it leads into the interventricular area. But yeah,
Okay.
great cardiac. Okay?
Great cardiac.
You got a middle cardiac, because it's in the middle, and it's, in terms of size, it's kind of in between, and a small cardiac, great, small cardiac vein.
Small cardiac.
The veins are easier, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah?
Oh, look at his face. I didn't get your face. I got it.